So I used to follow this TikTok content creator named London Hughes. I thought her content was actually funny at first until she started saying some wild things about Black Americans. It's like now every time I watch a movie or series starring a Black Brit in American films or American TV shows, I always keep my third eye open with them. Because eventually the truth comes out. This year alone, she has made some of the most disrespectful comments about Black Americans while living in the States and benefiting from the opportunities that Black American actors, actresses, and filmmakers helped make possible. So I'm really trying to understand, why are Black productions or Black films, TV shows, or whatever, or Black actors and actresses giving her a platform? Ain't no way I'm letting someone disrespect my community and still profit off it. The only way you would do that is if you think that community was weak and they wouldn't do or say anything about it. And the only reason I'm talking about this because this video came up on my FYP about her and Will Packer collaborating, or he was producing one of her project ideas, but that was a couple years ago. And I was like, hold on, let me unblock this hoe. Went to her page and I was like, oh, she's still getting opportunities in the States after she was talking crazy for months this year? Ain't no fucking way. They gotta think like we're gullible and weak. They gotta think that. Also, y'all, I tried to find her videos where she was saying some disrespectful things about Black Americans, saying that we're the problem, the common problem within these diaspora wars. She was also talking crazy about soul food and among other things as well. All her videos are taken down. I know why though. I know why. You want opportunities in the States, even though you think less of us. You still want a job here. I'm telling you now, anytime I see her face or Cynthia Erivo, I don't want to see the movie. Don't want to see it. I still haven't seen Wicked because of Cynthia. Still haven't seen Harriet Tubman because of Cynthia. David, the guy who played Martin Luther King and Selma, because I remember the comments that Samuel Jackson received from the Black Brits. So anyone that talks crazy to Samuel Jackson about his comments, I give them the side eye. And I can't watch their films or shows. Also, when David was defending Zoe Saldana when she was playing Nina Simone, yeah, I can't watch it.
Well, this is the thing, and a lot of Black people got to realize this, is historically, whiteness was created to get poor white people to stop allying themselves with poor Black people and to make everybody separate themselves from doing business with Black people. Once Black people became free and after slavery, because white people and Black people were in slavery, poor white people and Black people, we all experienced negative situations, be it in America. And so people wanted to have a better life, so they started identifying with white. There's a case where a Chinese man wanted to identify with white, and they wouldn't let him. He took him to court and everything. There's a book called The Caste System. You should check it out. It's a caste system. It's a Oprah's book club bestseller. Anyway, so when it comes to, you got to remember, man, I traveled all around. I've been in London. I've been all through there. I got family that's in over there, overseas and everything, that live over there. And their just outlook on everything is very different. And people forget that there were Black Brits over there. There were Black Brits over there due to Blacks being over there during medieval times when they erased that portion of history, and due to the Moors, due to trade and all that other shit. And then you had they were little, but they were there. And then you had Blacks that were transferred over in slavery and then released into the Brits and just Europe in general, right? So you have that. But people don't forget. When you thinking about history, you thinking about anything, you have to include science. Now, the science behind you not seeing no Black people until the UK started wanting cheaper labor, so they started allowing the Jamaicans to come over there in masses. Once the Jamaicans were established over there, then Jamaicans started getting some nationalism about themselves. And then they were like, yo, these motherfuckers is not doing things for cheap anymore. They're not doing things how we want them to do. The Jamaicans have already established the culture over there. And everybody gravitated towards it. You know, that's why you had like niggas like Bob Marley over there. He just having his way, having all them white women, having all them kids. So then, you know, with the influence and all that other shit, Jamaican culture basically took over the UK. But then they were like, yo, we want to be equal. We want to get money. We want to get respected. We want this and this and that, you know. So then they started bringing in other immigrants. And along with the other immigrants amongst them were immigrants that looked just like the Jamaicans, but they weren't Jamaican. They were African. So then the Africans started beefing with the Jamaicans, and they still have that those little between little tit for tat bullshit that they got on because they brought the Africans over again for cheaper labor and was giving them giving them like what America calls welfare, but it was like government help, government aid to help them get started and because of whatever was happening in Africa. Also because motherfuckers just wanted to live in an area where they didn't have to think about war. So that's how you see that's how the British culture of today is made up of that. It's made up of Africans and Jamaicans having that like mental, you know, small tiny beef with each other, but their cultures have merged, and some of them are enlightened and some of them are not. And then you also have the light skinned UK people that people forgot that were there first and forget about the history of blacks even being in the UK or being in Europe in general. And yeah, you got to remember too, if you're over there and you're doing all right for yourself and you run into a UK white woman, it only takes 3 generations of mixing to wipe out a whole black history. So you got the incoming immigrants, you got the establishment of just how things are on the hip side culturally are ran through, you know what I'm saying, through the Jamaicans. Everybody's talking of like Jamaicans, everybody's being like Jamaicans over there. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the Africans coming over, they're bringing their shit. They want their shit recognized too. You got the other immigrants coming over there also, but they don't even give a fuck. They're just doing their thing. And then you got the white people that are just sitting back watching everything. And then you got the fucking you got the history, the super light skinned black people that were there first, but they don't even recognize their own blackness because they've been, they're just mating with white people. They're just living their lives. They don't even give a fuck. So you got eugenics, you got all those things that make up today's mindset and culture of the UK. And you know, it was never thought to even be, nobody was calling themselves black over there. You know what I'm saying? They were just living and being people. You know what I mean? They heard music from America and some of them started adopting the idea of black. But nobody really cared. Now it's an incentive to be black because America, when they pick up films, when they're doing casting, when agents are looking for people, they're like, yo, you black, you identify as black, you know black culture, can you do this? Can you do an accent? Can you do this, that? And black people from Britain, they're like, fuck yeah, I can do all that shit. I want money. I want to be over there. So that's where we are right now. You know what I mean? And the black Americans that's over here, they are in the same position that the Jamaicans were when they first got over to London, when they started going over there. Our stories are not the same, but they're in the same position, meaning we established the culture here. We established what it was. Our stories are different and we've been here longer, yes. But we established what it was. Now we got people from other places, i.e. like how it was in the UK. You got the Africans that came over after and the other immigrants, India, Chinese, whatever. They come over afterwards and they start looking at us, looking at the like how they look at well, I don't know if they look at the Jamaicans the same over there, but well, they do. They look at them as uppity Negroes and da 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 da. But the Jamaicans are like, yo, we was here first. We established to be the reason why you saying bruv and all this other shit and you talking like this and this and this and that and whatever whatever. But it's even deeper over here in America. We the reason that you get to do a lot of shit. We the reason that motherfuckers is out here really rapping. Motherfuckers is the way that you do music, the way that you do everything. We the reason. And yes, there have been first generation children that were Jamaican from Africa, from whatever, whatever, whatever. Second and first generation people that have contributed to the the growth of ideas that came from Black America. But ultimately it's the culture of Black America that allowed for them to add to the things that were already being established.